What's up, everybody? We are back. It's been a while since I've gone through my sort of like study of Supergirl. We've gone through almost everything up through the New 52, and this is Volume 3, Sanctuary, which comprises issues 13 through 20 of the New 52 series. All right, I am a comic creator myself. My name is John Delarose. I am a #1 best-selling author, crowdfunder. I do all the things, and I've got my newsletter in the description below, as well as my Amazon page if you'd like to support the books and check things out. If you like Supergirl, you might want to try out my Flying Sparks especially. All right. Okay, so it's been a while since I've read this, but I've read the series, but I came back to it this week. Very happy to get back into it. I actually really love Mahmoud Asrar's art. He makes me just kind of happy in general. And Mike Johnson's writing is very, very snappy. So it's very fun to get through this. Starts out with Supergirl's sort of like arch nemesis, who's this guy named Simon Tycho, who she started out fighting in the beginning of the New 52 run. And he's like up against her, and he's like put his brain into like some new body, basically. Now, with New 52 came a bunch of like silly redesigns of costumes for all the characters. And Supergirl was not immune to it. She'd get some weird, strange like rebranding of her S or whatever it is. And she also has like what looks like a little diaper on. It's very silly. Along with some strange boots with like missing kneecaps. I don't get it. But yeah, it's a weird redesign. I mean, it looks close enough to the classic that it's not a deal killer, but it is on. So this is a knockdown drag out fight until she like kind of, ends things with him and has her sort of fortress of solitude, which is called Sanctuary. It's under the ocean rather than in the North Pole or whatnot. And it freezes him up, and she starts to like communicate with her little sanctuary place. Like I said, enjoyable art. I think Mahmoud Asrar draws his female characters pretty well. It's always what I look for in an artist. Do they actually look feminine? And that's actually a harder thing to accomplish than normal. She's got a friend who's like this Irish gal who she also kind of met from the last volume. This gal and her brother like were kind of like being consumed by their father's spirit thingy. And just keeping that thread intact that she's got her friends there. And we learn that her brother has a little crush on Kara here. Now, we get into this like hell on earth thing. So pretty neat. This is a pretty cool concept as it goes through. There's this character called Hell or Hell or something like that. And he really wants to bring back Krypton. And so he's like, he's got a way to like do things and bring things back, and he kind of manipulates Kara into like this like scheme to like go back in time and mess with Krypton. And this apparently crosses over with Superman. So I didn't realize it as I'm reading it. It's kind of bizarre that it's collected in this sort of form, because you just get the issues of Supergirl. Usually when they do collections, they actually throw in the crossovers also. But in order to read the full story of this, you would actually have to go into Superman and read those stories too, which is in Volume 3 of that also. There is a collected edition of Hell or Hell on Earth or whatever you want to call it, separate than that also, which collects the entire series. Might be a better way to go actually than just this Volume 3 because of that. Except of course then you miss the stories that were not involved in that crossover, so you kind of got to get both of them. DC, come on. All right. So during this, like the Justice League kind of goes up against Kara, and they're like, "Hey, we're gonna fight you because you're bringing about this evil alien weapon, and you don't even know it." And Kara's like, "No, I'm just gonna bring back Krypton. What are you talking about?" She fights the Flash in that issue, and actually each one of these is great in and of themselves. You kind of get the picture for the whole story, but it unfortunately does like really conclude in the Superman volume, so you don't get. There's a part in this, like, that's how I realized I was missing something. I was like, because it doesn't actually say continued in Superman X at the end of each issues here. They just kind of stop. I realized, like, once I switched here to what Kryptonite does not kill, it only makes stronger, which is the next one, which is actually written by Frank Hanna, and we have a fill-in penciler also in Robinson Roca. You wake up, there's this like Lex Luthor's kind of escaping from a prison, and you learn that like we had already had a fight here and it's already over, and Kara's fighting with some sort of thing. Now the art is not quite as good in the fill-in, not quite as interesting, but it does kind of just continue in the same pace. Like if you might have not noticed a change there too much if it wasn't explicit. And then it gets back to Mike Johnson and Mahmoud Asrar. So very weird. It just kind of ended, and then we kind of time skipped ahead, and we find out that Kara's like basically dead. And Power Girl shows up in this universe. She's wearing some weird outfit here. Was set up a couple issues further, and this is like your Power Girl and Kara team up. So we got this like kind of gauntlet of team ups. We got like, you know, Superman, and then Flash, and then Wonder Woman, and then Power Girl, like kind of all in a row. It's kind of how it went. They fight this dude who's like apparently working for Lex Luthor now, and they kind of take him down together. They end up going to Sanctuary, and then Sanctuary has a problem like recognizing Kara as herself, and then Power Girl gets back into her regular costume. A couple of jokes that, you know, are like, well, you shouldn't be wearing that, like kind of like talk from Kara, which is kind of silly, but given what she's wearing. But it's all right. And then you get Michael Allen Nelson filling in his writing with Mahmoud Asrar as they escape Sanctuary at the end of this. And Sanctuary produces this like robot killer thing that goes after Kara. And she has to run this gauntlet. She tries to talk to Sanctuary, but Sanctuary does not respond well. And they both kind of escape with Power Girl saving her, and then they kind of become friends. And that's it. So yeah, art's really nice. I do really like the way that both of them are drawn through this. I think the colors are pretty good. That one issue where they had a fill-in artist had a weird fill-in colorist too, which kind of muted all the colors, which was kind of interesting too. Very different look than you're getting with the rest of the series. It looks almost like 90s Image style. You know, you like a little Witchblade action here with some of the hair trying to copy like a Silvestri or Turner's sort of look here, which, you know, isn't bad, but I like Mahmoud Asrar's like very definitive style a little bit better. It's a little more cartoony. I think it fits Supergirl a bit better. Good stuff. I enjoyed all the setups. I enjoyed actually everything. I just wish they would have included the Superman issues in there, because then you would have seen the kind of conclusion of that storyline. Would have made this a lot more epic. But as it is, still a fun volume. 8 out of 10. Some of the better Supergirl I've read.